Okay, we got a gap between the drywall and the main water shutoff valve. Hello. I got a whole video to that. I just want to kind of come in here a little bit. And front door. I haven't even heard the doorbell. We got an air gap right there. Can you see the air gap in there? If light can get through, water can get through. And bugs. Okay. We got a little bit of paint right there. A little bit of crack in our cold joint right here. Avon calling. Okay. Counterclockwise, hook right. I've gotten to most of the electric receptacle outlets, all the ones I could reach. They've been working fine. And that was my method. Every window that I've tried, and I tried, if not most of them, all of them. And they're all working fine too. Yay team. Let's go on up the stairs. Okay, this is the upstairs game room. This is where both attic accesses are. That hatches to the back attic, and this hatches to the upper attic. Oh, it's not closing very good. That tape on there is also showing you. Oh, it does close. It's closed fine. It just looks horrible. We've got some stains on the carpet up here in the middle of the room. And again, all these windows are acting like they're supposed to, opening and closing. And just seeing that we're all closed, all latched. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are all in the appropriate locations. Some of our door stoppers beyond, it's de minimis. But still, it's kind of like that paint around the doorknob. So it's new construction. I'm here. I'm dropping a few pieces of blue tape around so that people can keep their mind on important things. And just kind of figure this out easy. But the blue tape, okay, ultimately the blue tape is my client's responsibility. Blue tape is typically, in most cases, is applied to aesthetic issues. The very first blue tape I showed you in this video, that was not an aesthetic issue. That crack needed to be filled. So I just brought it to, so that people could focus on it. But for the most part, the blue tape is for de minimis. It's for door stoppers and things like that. But it doesn't mean it should be ignored. And well, that's kind of tough right there, isn't it? And the blue tape ultimately is my client's responsibility. The aesthetic issues are my client's. I am here to inspect how the doors, like this left door in this closet, okay, I'm here to inspect why the door doesn't close like it's supposed to. Or let's say I'm here to inspect to make sure that electric receptacle outlet is working like it's supposed to. I'm supposed to inspect the window so I know that it's working like it's supposed to. But the door stopper, that's just not me, So, and you know what? I get it. It's part of the door system. I may change my whole business model. I might have grown a conscience here. Huh. Okay. There we go. Coming on in. And again, the absence of blue tape does not... Okay, we got a blue tape by this switch right here. The absence of blue tape doesn't mean that everything's fine. Okay, it just means that nobody tagged it. There's a lot of things, flashing. By the way, these doors are not sealed on 6 sides. And I'm on a door campaign lately. I always have been, especially on new construction. But I'm on a door campaign. I'm where a very small part of a very large lawsuit had to do with doors. not being sealed and claiming that they worked. And there was more to it than that. That wasn't the, okay. But I'm going like, I'm reading the paper, I'm going, man, I'm so glad I report on that. I'm so glad I report on that. Okay, this is nice, but you know what? I don't remember these. I don't remember opening this door, this window. Huh. I'm glad they're there. You can't be too safe. But, I don't understand that they're necessary. Maybe it's because they got a ledge in the window, and so a child could breach this, and so it may not be the floor, but it's accessible to a child. So somebody's like, adding that. Okay, get that. But these windows have these clips that you can restrictors right there built into them. So now I like these. I'll put them in my truck. Get my screwdriver. But no. And then we got some of our paint is flaking. I'm not going to my truck. I'm not going to the Tammy Faye to get a screwdriver to take these. I'm leaving these. Okay. But some of our paint, is kind of flaking off here. At first I thought, oh wow, that's a little Mediterranean style, because the way the corners are wrapped and stuff. My first thought was accepting. When I first looked at it, I was looking at it with approval, but then I realized it wasn't what it looked like. That's why you always get a good home inspection. All right. Well, we got the upstairs done. Now, bear with me. I got all kinds of speeches and stuff going. All right. And then this is the upstairs bathroom. This is the only plumbing upstairs, which is kind of neat. Low maintenance. If you have 6 bathrooms, how many bathrooms do you have to clean? Okay. If you have 5 bathrooms, how many bathrooms do you have to clean? If you got 3 bathrooms, how many bathrooms do you have to clean? Alright, well, let's go on downstairs. Everything's looking fine. Don't forget the stain on the carpet over there. And don't forget the door up there. Don't forget. Alright, so we come on down. I was kind of waiting for the sun to move a little bit to kind of help posterize this. We discovered that the P-trap, or I say we, because me and the camera and you and my audience, discovered the P-trap was leaking there. So that's what that was about. I have a whole video about the electric switches not being properly. We got a problem here, okay? Getting from the front door to the primary bedroom, or getting from the garage entry to the primary bedroom, and illuminating your way with light switches. You got one switch that gets you in there. You got one switch that gets you in there. And then that works in conjunction with any number or combination of trips back and forth to this panel over here, sometimes in the dark. Okay, when you have a countertop with an overhang more than 10 inches, you should have a core wall underneath there, okay, to support it. You should. Okay. Now, all home inspectors are required to render an opinion about the foundation. That's a home inspector's opinion, using the Texas Real Estate Commission Standards of Practice as the primary protocol that we build on. Okay? We are not engineers, and I'm telling you right now, we shouldn't pretend like we're engineers. I do not calculate slope. I use engineering equipment. I do measure the floor elevation differential. So I do measure that. I use guidelines. I do not calculate slope. Okay, and my guidelines are no more than 1 inch of floor height elevation differential over 25 feet, and no more than 2 inches of floor height elevation differential overall. And I'm not getting 1 inch. I'm not getting 1 inch anywhere. So by my guidelines, per my guidelines, we're looking pretty good. Another thing that's kind of interesting, which, I'm used to say at least check one deficiency on the foundation, just one. Come on, it's the foundation. You got to do that. I mean, this is I gotta show you this. Well, I can hang my hat on this. This tree shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the structure. You don't have 25 feet to the sidewalk. I get that. That tree's too close. If you look at every property around here, they've all got one tree. You're probably not going to be able to move that tree. That tree's probably required. So I'm going to write as a deficiency. You got a tree too close to the house. You got to allow for roots and all that. Okay, but it is what it is. And I didn't even remember that tree, to be honest. I was going to go out. I was going to brag about a tree not even being there. That there was nothing that I could complain about the foundation about. Now I was waiting for the sun, like I said, when I come down the stairs. But right through here, like you're coming through there, I got some blue tape on it. But when the sun hits that just right, you got a little hump, like there was some trash underneath it when they laid the flooring, LVP flooring, carpet, and ceramic tile. Okay. So I think the foundation, in my opinion, it does not supersede the engineer's opinion, okay, is that the foundation is performing the function for which it's intended. It's supporting the superstructure. So, the foundation is doing good. And you also, you might notice that I sound tired. You might notice that the light's a little different in the windows. This is the last video that I'm doing today. This is the very last video. And this is the time when I like to say, thank you, dear client. Thank you very much for your business and your trust. Those things mean everything to my family and I. And to my Facebook nation out there, not Facebook, well, I'm there too, but to my YouTube nation out there, all 12 of you, there's a like button around here where you can stab it somewhere. You know the drill, you just hit that like button like that, So just do that. And if you have YouTube insomnia, I heard that my smooth, mellow FM radio voice can lull you right off to sleep. So this might be a good, the doctor prescribes that you share, or follow, or join, or whatever it is that they got underneath there, those things. Oh, there you go, 13 followers. Awesome. Thank you, Albuquerque. All right. My YouTube nation is growing. But thank you for that. And then back to my client, who I'm saying, for your trust in your business, and thank you. A good Google review means a lot to a small businessman like me. And I don't want anybody just giving me a Google, I don't have any control over the situation. I get that. But, I would rather have an honest review than any. I'd rather have no review than unless it was an honest review. That's what I was saying. So anyway, come on. Enough of that yakety yak schmuck stuff. I'm closing windows. Yeah, he was whining there for a minute. He got all emotional and stuff. Okay, we're closing all the windows. All the windows are latched. What's wrong with that old man? The old man knows his stuff. All right, speaking of the old man knows his stuff and the light changing, I was over here and I was looking at these walls a little bit. And they're kind of wavy right in here. And they're kind of wavy right in here. And they're kind of wavy right in here along the island. And I don't mind bringing a level out. In fact, I'm going to double check my work. I will bring a level out. But I can pretty much tell you from here that meets the self-designated industry standards from the National Association of Home Builders. I don't know that for sure again because I'm going to come back and double check this one. But I think it is what it is. I say, oh, it's construction. It's new construction. I don't have that much movement in my car. All my fenders look normal. Why can't my walls look normal? This house probably costs more than a car. Why's my house gotta look like that? I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on it because there might not be anything you can do about it, and I haven't put a level on it yet. And if there's anything wrong with it, this is the second to the last video. If there's something wrong with that, well, I go back and find it. I'm not a proud man. I can go back. I can go back. I can eat my words. All right. And we're getting there. We are getting there. Leaving those lights on for the level.